Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Sin and Sacrifice, the new DLC that marks the end of Season 1 of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Now, this DLC has given you a bit of chatter, radio chatter. It gives you 2 brand new ships, but also it gives you some additional missions as well, and there's 11 missions inside the campaign. This DLC, which is quite a feat. Good value for many. Check it out on Steam on the 19th of March when it gets released. However, what I want to touch today is this one. It's called War Tourism. Now, this little story is that you jump into a system. Somebody in a typical transport is there doing tourism of war sites. So there's civilians on there. They're broadcasting a distress signal. You jump in there to try and save them, and then you get attacked by other ships. Now, these aren't Cylons. These other ships were corvettes of the local system. Don't know the ins and outs of it, but that's what it's all about. They were broadcasting a distress signal. Could have been pirates, could have been marauders. Anyway, idea is you jump in, you've got to save that transport, you've got to give the bad guys a bit of a pasting, and if it isn't Cylons, you know, it's a bit refreshing to be fighting your same ships. And we saw that in Broken Alliance, where there's all that civil war going on. So it's a bit of a run-on theme from this. You jump in while you have firepower, give them the benefits of the missiles, let them have it, it's good practice, and you feel a little bit, you know, fulfilled helping out silly civilians. And that's what it's all about. So, like I said, Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is getting the Sin and Sacrifice DLC on the 19th of March. 11 new story missions into the mix, thus expanding on the further legendary Galactica lore. And it revolves basically about the awakening of the famous IL series commander, Lachesis. And it also features other options as well, by the ability to change jukebox settings of the in-game music that you can hear. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm positioning my ships in an attack formation with the Daedalus behind me. It's going to spawn up now. I'm going to jump into system. I'm in Helios Gamma Thanatos. So there's the Daedalus. My ships are going to jump in. And let's go and give them a good old pasting. Now, do me a favour, if you haven't done so, click the like and subscribe button for me if you like what you're seeing. I am doing full coverage of this DLC for Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, and there's other Battlestar Galactica Deadlock videos on there as well. And ring that notification bell, and that'll let you know when I'm putting more videos of Elite Dangerous, Subnautica, Frostpunk, They Are Billions, No Man's Sky, when I get back round to it, and Elite Dangerous on YouTube. Now, as an RTS game, I find this game is absolutely fantastic. And for those who aren't familiar with it, it's set 4 years in the 4 years of war, right? Along with the first Cylon War of the original Battlestar Galactica. So you'll have the new reimagined Galactica in there. You've got the old Galactica. You've got, or style of Battlestars, I should say. You've got different types of ships in there. It gives you the idea of what a colonial fleet was and could have been. Now, what's this all about? RTS, minute strategy on how you're going to move your ship, apply your weapons, what's your loadout going to be. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock does indeed take you into the heart of the first Cylon War to fight these 3D battles. So you take control of the colonial fleet from the bridge of a mobile shipyard, the Daedalus, and you can see it there, and free the 12 colonies from Cylon threat and tyranny by building fleets, moving them around the map, building alliances, mining Tilium, building more ships, and making yourself a force to be reckoned with. Now, is Adama in this game? No. But the Battlestar Galactica is, and you can pilot it. When I say pilot it, you can maneuver it around the screen in strategy.
Understood.
The deadlock of the Cylon peace accord is broken by a surprise attack by the Cylons. And the colonial fleet gets a bit of a pasting on Pycon, and then it's down to Rear Admiral Lucinda Kane, not Helena Kane, but Lucinda. So obviously a relation. To get in there, use your cunning, and destroy all the Cylons. That's basically what it's all about. So a good RTS strategy game from Slytherin, and they've got quite a few other games of the RTS nature out there as well. Now, I also mentioned, when I was contacted with the press release for this game, it was mentioned that we end up the Season 1 for Deadlock. So is there going to be a Season 2? Ooh! And what are we going to see there? Are we going to see more modern ships? Is there going to be more campaigns? Is there going to be a huge game dynamic change? We don't know. Also with this, you get veterancy. Now, what's veterancy? Veterancy, right, is the assumption that if people do something long enough, they're going to get good at it. Okay, just like what you do in normal life. And that was covered in one of the Battlestar Galactica episodes, Scar I think it was, when the Viper pilots were out there and they were shooting all the Cylons, but they kept coming back and kept coming back meaner and more eviler, you know, with a full skill set. Whereas the Colonials would lose a pilot, and there was no resurrection chamber for them to come back. There was no body for them to jump into. It was effectively, right, you're a nugget, get back in that Viper. So it follows on from that, really. But, I mean, we're talking about the Colonials here. They gain experience. But here's the thing in this game as well. The longer they last, the more ships they destroy, the Cylons get smarter too. So, like I say, if I read from the official blurb, the official blurb says, in real life, as a team of people work together, they generally get better at what they do. It's natural that practice and experience leads to improvements in the ability of a crew and the results they get. The Veterancy update, a new campaign option, will enable this effect to be modelled in the campaign. When active, crews will gain experience for a number of events such as surviving battle or taking out an enemy ship. As experience increases, the crew will gain levels that will give passive bonuses to some stats on the ship. There you go. So, and that's what that's all about. I covered this in a specific video on veterancy. Check it out, it's on the channel. We also go through the introduction sequence that sets the state of this game, all in the same playlist, and we've done a few skirmishes as well, which I thought were great. Now, you're still capped at how many units you can have within Battlestar Galactica in the group. When you get a full tricked out commander or admiral or whatever you want to call them, officer assigned to that battle group, the maximum you can have is 8,000 command points, and how you use that is up to you. Of course, if you have all Jupiter class, well, like 2,150 command points each. You can't have many of those, so you want to intersperse it with other more support and tactical type ships like a corvette to rush up there so you can see what you're doing and then unleash holy hell with the missiles. And then you want a more heavier ship like a Minvera that can launch multiple missile salvos and Vipers as well to really destroy those capital ships. Or you may want to supplement your arsenal as well with the Berserker class or the Minotaur that's got loads of guns attached to it but can't necessarily launch anything. So how you do this, how you choose your ships within the game really is up to you, and it is trial and error. I can attempt to give some pointers, but I'm by no means any expert here, and what I like about this game is that every time I play it I find it different, especially you go on to the harder levels as well. As you can see on this screen, those grey patches are proximity mines. If I go into them, they're going to blow my ships to smithereens. So the idea is I moved a smaller ship up there to engage the Cylons. The Cylons then, they came after me, they took the bait, and then I let the missiles rip, and the big guns of the Battlestars which were inside the confines of the proximity mines, to let loose on those, well, they're not Cylons, they're Marauders, on those enemy ships. Let's put it that way. Now you can rename your Battlestars as well. Launch your Vipers, recall your Vipers. You've got Raptors. Raptors can go and shore up firewall defenses if your Battlestars get hacked. They can board alien ships and wear them down from the inside with a complement of Marines. This game really is, I think, pretty damn good, and the constant updates, which aren't expensive on Steam, I mean, you know, £7 for an update for a campaign is really good, especially if you're a fan of the franchise like what I am, whether the original franchise back in the 70s with Richard Hatch, of course he was in them both, and Dirk Benedict as Starbuck as well, or whether it was the reimagined episodes that came out in 2003, I think it was, and finished about 2009 by Ron Moore. That was shown on the Sci-Fi Channel over in the UK. That was fantastic. Did breathe some new life into the franchise as well. Everyone liked Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica was brought out to directly combat Star Wars. I think it kind of had a pretty good story for a one-film wonder with the original film. And of course there was other films after that, but let's not talk about those, especially not Battlestar Galactica when they actually found Earth and all the kids were superhuman in strength. If you haven't got that, check it out. It's well worth not being able to get the time you invest in watching that film back. But the original Battlestar Galactica, well worth watching.
Yes,
and those type of ship, I think they're the Artemis type of ship, you can use in-game, so it's being completely well modeled in there as well. So I've given those marauders, bad guys, pirates, whatever they're going to be, people who are trying to kill those civilians, a good pasting. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the cutscene again to show you exactly what happened in all its glory. I've been Ricardo, thanks very much for watching, and check back for more videos in the series.
Action station, this is not a drill.
Greatest marks are tagged.
Get every gun ready and bearing on the hostile. I hate the quiet before the first shot.
Escort priority 1 still online.
Get him, get him, get him!
Target locked and left for clearance.
They're giving us the hell of a storm, sir.
Loading.
Blading is taking a pounding, sir. I need black reload now. Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Wind up now.